Hello, leader. Have you ever wondered what to do when you've got a high performer on your team who's ambitious, driven, and wants more, sometimes more than you can even offer right now? You might feel the pressure of holding on to them, worried that they're going to leave. But here's the truth. Ambitious team members don't want you to squelch their drive, and they don't want just more money. They want you to channel their ambition into something bigger. Today, we'll talk about how to keep them engaged, show them what their career path could look like, and even inspire them to become role models for the rest of your team. Welcome to the Stacking Your Team podcast, smart leadership for women who mean business. I'm Shelley Warren, your team and leadership coach, and your no-fluff guide to building a powerhouse team that actually gets the job done without you holding their hand every 5 minutes. You're not just a business owner, you're the leader now, and I'll help you step up, lead smart, and stop micromanaging. Stick with me and you'll learn how to hire, fire, and inspire a team you lead with confidence and finally get your night and weekends back. And here's the hard truth. The team that got you here may not be the team that gets you there. So let's trade burnout for bold leadership and stack your team. This episode is powered by the Leadership Lab, my high-touch small group coaching program for women running established businesses with a team of 5 or more. If you're tired of being pulled into every little thing and you want more time for strategy, creativity, or even building a second business, you don't have to go it alone. It's time to stop feeling so exhausted by trying to hold it all together. The Leadership Lab helps you step out of the daily operations, build a capable team, and lead boldly without burning out. If you're ready for more capacity, more confidence, and more time for what matters to you most, apply today at stackingyourteam.com/leadershiplab. Okay, let's get into it. So why does it matter to know how to lead ambitious team members? Well, here's some stats you might find interesting. Gallup says that in North America, over 70% of employees who leave voluntarily do so because they don't see growth opportunities. And when high performers quit, it costs a lot to replace them. Usually 1.5 to 2 times their salary in lost productivity, rehiring, and training. And then there's this. Ambitious team members are often your next generation of leaders if you nurture them instead of stifling them. It's very common for my clients to worry about their top performers leaving. But after they introduce a solid team structure, introduce leadership positions, and map out career paths, those team members become their right-hand leaders and role models for the rest of the team. Here are some mistakes that leaders make with their ambitious people. First up, squelching their drive. Now, here's what this can look like. You micromanage them, second-guess their decisions, or keep assigning them to do the same safe tasks because you know they're going to deliver. You might even shut down their suggestions because you're worried that they'll rock the boat or be, too progressive. I've also seen this as constantly loading up this person beyond what you expect in their peers because, they can handle it. So why is this dangerous? Well, ambitious people crave momentum. When they feel boxed in or they're kept in their lane for too long, their drive turns into frustration. Over time, that frustration leads to disengagement, and they'll take that ambition to another employer who will let them stretch. So what can you do? Give them space to experiment and own big results. You can set boundaries and provide oversight without clipping their wings. Here's another common mistake: holding them back out of fear. And here's what this can look like. You see their potential, but you hesitate to give them deep responsibility because you're worried they'll outshine you, maybe outgrow the business altogether, or get poached by a competitor. So you play it safe and keep them where they are. And why is this dangerous? Well, fear-based leadership sends a signal. that your future isn't here. And ambitious people won't wait around. They'll create their own opportunities. Ironically, the very thing you were afraid of, losing them. Well, it happens because you didn't grow them. So what can you do? High performers don't always want your job. They want their own vision of growth. When you elevate them, you elevate the business. So don't hoard opportunities. Share them. Mistake number 3 is failing to communicate growth. And here's what this can look like. You assume your team members know what's possible, and you're vague in conversations about advancement. When people ask about their career aspirations and the future, you say things like, well, we'll see where things go, or we'll revisit this next year. Sometimes you may even avoid the topic altogether because you don't want to overpromise. So why is this dangerous? Well, silence creates uncertainty, and ambitious people interpret uncertainty as there's no future here. They don't need a perfectly mapped out ladder, but they do need transparency about what's possible and what skills they should be building to get there. So what can you do? Even if the business can't offer a new role right now, talk openly about timelines, skill stacking, and what ready looks like. You know, a 15-minute growth conversation can do more to retain an ambitious team member than a pay bump. And speaking of pay bumps, mistake number 4 is relying on money alone, thinking salary bumps, extra PTO, or flexible perks will guarantee their loyalty. So here's what this can look like. You assume that giving raises, more vacation time, or flexible perks will guarantee your ambitious team members loyalty, and they're going to stay forever. You might even offer a generous maternity leave package or a supportive return to work plan and think this will keep them here for years. Now, while those things matter, they only address short-term satisfaction, not long-term engagement. And why is that dangerous? Well, sure, compensation can attract talent, but it doesn't retain ambition. High performers stay when they see a future with you. If they don't, no amount of money will stop them from leaving for a competitor who offers growth, visibility, or a bigger role. Leaders who rely on perks risk creating a revolving door of talent because the core motivator, career trajectory, is ignored. You know, one of my clients gave a top performer more money, more PTO, an incredible maternity leave support, and a gentle on-ramp for her return. But a competitor poached her with what seemed like a bigger role, and she resigned. The other employer won her over, so she left, not giving my client a chance to counteroffer or even discuss the matter with her. So what can you do? Pay fairly and competitively. It's the baseline, but don't confuse money with motivation. Pair compensation with career pathing conversations, stretch projects, and leadership opportunities. That's what anchors ambitious team members to your business. Here's mistake number 5 that leaders make with their ambitious people. Not leveraging them as role models. Here's what this can look like. You treat your ambitious team member as a solo star. You keep giving them high-value projects, but you don't create opportunities for them to mentor, coach, or share their approach with others. Their success stays contained rather than being multiplied across the team. And why is that dangerous? Well, ambition is contagious, but only if people can see it in action. When you fail to position high performers as examples, the rest of the team misses out on learning from them. Instead of raising the standard, you're creating silos where one person shines and others stagnate. And ironically, your ambitious team members may start to feel isolated or even underappreciated, which increases the risk that they're going to leave. So what can you do? Give your ambitious people platforms to influence others. Invite them to lead training on a system they've mastered. Let them mentor a new hire or ask them to present their project results at team meetings. When you leverage them as role models, 2 things will happen. The first one, the whole team levels up. and your high performers feel recognized for more than just output. And secondly, they feel seen as a leader in the making. So I've got a question for you. Do you think that you have a good feel for what your highest performing people on your team really want? If you do, how realistic is it? Let's have a look at what performers really want and what's really, realistic for your business. Here's the list. They want visibility into their career path. Even if that's not perfectly mapped out, they want to know what's possible. They also want stretch assignments and trust. They thrive when you give them ownership of projects that really matter. They also want access to you. Ambitious team members want mentorship and insight into decision-making. And they also want impact and influence. They want to see their work inspiring others. I love this list mainly because I really appreciate ambitious people. And yes, there is a but, and it's a reality check. Are you ready for it? Just because someone wants more, they want higher pay, a bigger title, more responsibility, doesn't mean the business can support it. You may have not taken time to consider your own growth plan, your future org chart, your succession plan, and how you'll offer careers rather than just jobs. Many of my clients have team members who are eager to step into leadership roles, so they explain that new team leader positions will only open up as the business continues to grow, and they need to hire to meet the client demand. This is where strong leadership and strong communication skills matter. You can acknowledge their ambition, validate their career goals, but also explain the needs of the business. So you want to respond to these kind of requests with something like this. Here's what the business can provide today. Here's what the business could be prepared to offer in the future when there's evidence of A, B, or C. And here's what we can focus on right now. Notice that I didn't say, I'm so sorry, I just can't say yes to that right now. I also didn't say, I don't know when I'll be able to afford that. It's a common problem that I see with my clients too. They position themselves as a bank. You are not a bank. You are their leader. The business is either primed and prepared for growth or it isn't. So make it a habit to talk about the business being the decision point, not you. And people really do appreciate you not creating false promises. Here at Stacking Your Team, we have a set of signature tools that are designed to equip our clients with what they need to hire, fire, and inspire a team of self-sufficient people who add value every day because they feel like they belong and they want to make a difference. Our tools and frameworks are super helpful and save them time, energy, and money because they don't have to create the tools themselves or the training in how to use them every day in their business. So they truly apply the tool to improve everything they do. Our career pathing tool is quickly becoming a client favorite in their toolkit. It's now just as popular as the 5-hour work plan. Leaders love how it gives clarity, shows possibilities, and creates excitement for the future, while also giving a framework for conversations about timing and readiness. Both the timing and the readiness of the team member and the time and readiness of the health of the business. The 5-hour work plan is still one of our clients' favorite tools, and it's the first one that they apply right across their team. It adds a whole new level of accountability and truly reinforces what each person is being paid to do. Each team member can then gauge for themselves whether they're on track or not and take action on their own to impact their results. So together, career pathing and the 5-hour work plan offer a roadmap for keeping high performers engaged, loyal to you, and invested without over-promising beyond what the business can sustain. Inside the Leadership Lab, we introduced a new peer-led training opportunity that I call How She Does It, where I showcase a client on one of our calls. She actually teaches us how she took one of our signature tools and applied it directly into her business, how she rolled it out, what worked better than she thought it would, what was difficult, how did her team react, and how are they using the tool today, and more. A few weeks ago, we showcased Rebecca Decker of Evidence-Based Birth, who embraced the career pathing tool wholeheartedly, and she showed us how she did it. It was fabulous, sparked a great conversation, and her peers in the leadership lab loved being able to see her career path for specific roles in her business. Let's take a second and talk about some strategies for retaining and inspiring your ambitious team members. Use the career path conversations during your one-to-ones. Show them roles, responsibilities, and timelines for the next 12 to 24 months. The biggest reality check with career pathing is to highlight the criteria to move through the path. You'll also want to give some stretch projects. Back in my day in corporate, this was referred to as broadening assignments that allowed ownership for visible, impactful initiatives that became a chance for ambitious people to rapidly learn a new skill that had been identified as a value add for the business. You'll also want to position your ambitious team members as role models. Let them teach, mentor, and share their wins. Let them represent you and the brand out in the community. And of course, you'd want them to be client-facing often. You also want to embrace ambition as an asset to your team culture, not a threat to you personally, because others around you know more than you. You want to celebrate that people on your team are building true mastery, and make it a habit to be transparent about business realities. Share when timing or finances can't support an immediate promotion, but also what they can focus on to prepare for the next opportunity. Let's kick off our recap with this stat from a Deloitte 2024 survey. They found that people who see a clear career path are 3.5 times more likely to stay with their employer long term. I like the sound of that. So today we talked about why ambitious team members are an asset, not a liability, and how failing to lead them well can cost you your very best people. We covered the biggest mistakes leaders make, like squelching their drive, holding them back, relying on money alone, not leveraging them as role models, and failing to show them a clear path forward. We also highlighted what ambitious people really, really, really want, which was visibility, stretch projects, mentorship, and impact. And we brought in the reality check. Just because someone wants more pay or responsibility doesn't mean the business can support it. That's why tools like a career path and a 5-hour work plan are so powerful. They help you balance acknowledging their career goals with the actual needs of your business. If you're ready to stop fearing your best people might leave and instead create a culture that develops them into the leaders who will want to stay, I can help. This is exactly what we focus on inside the Leadership Lab. We're welcoming new members right now. You can book a call with me at our website at stackingyourteam.com. It's time to stop getting pulled into daily operations and start leading at a higher level. Imagine breathing easier, trusting your team to deliver, and finally having more time for your highest valued work. I can't wait to meet you. Thanks for tuning in to the Stacking Your Team podcast, Smart Leadership for Women Who Mean Business. If today's episode helped you see your leadership in a new way, I'd love to hear about it. Come connect with me on Instagram, where I'm at Stacking Your Team, and tell me what's troubling you about your team right now. And hey, if you're tuning into this podcast because you work somewhere and you want to develop your leadership skills, I invite you to start following our sister company, Thousand Islands Leadership Consulting. Check us out on Instagram or LinkedIn so you can chart your course to your next level of leadership. Until then, I'll be back on Tuesday with more for you.